Let me record selfish.
There you go. Shellfish. Talking about the theme. On this note,
Oh, is that the time for Lit Film Fest classrooms?
it's Lit Film Fest classroom time. Happy 10:30, everyone.
It was either that or the fire alarm.
It could still be both. It could still be the fire alarm.
Oh, there he goes again.
All right. All right. Hey, shh.
It was the fire alarm after
Get it
all.
out. It is day 4 of the lockdown, everyone. Day 4.
Woo!
See the little bubbles? That's because today is an ocean theme. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. We're going to be exploring under the sea. Indeed.
All right. I didn't know that.
But, whoops, I fell over onto this green screen like
Look,
effect.
under the sea, everyone.
Oh, whoops, I'm accidentally under the sea.
I actually got this picture from the website of the people that we're going to talk about today.
Ah, the Ocean
Amazing
Agency.
corals. Look at that.
Wow, that is beautiful. Wow, your arm is just
Oh,
disappearing beautifully into coral.
Look at that.
Simon
Beautiful
has
coral
a very rare disease where he turns into coral. That's terrible and does exist, so stop laughing.
Yeah, but apparently they fluoresce like this just before they die.
Right.
And so the ocean agencies done a lot of photography and videos of trying to show just beautiful corals like this and to try and share that message.
It's a strange kind of mix, that, isn't it? That something could be so beautiful just before it dies, and they think it's to do with global warming and like climate change and how the seas are heating up, which we can prove. So the coral finds it really difficult to actually live through those conditions. So it's a really important message that we're talking about today. And we'll be suggesting lots of different writing activities from this, and we'll be showing you what the Ocean Agency has on their website, so please go to that. Got loads of videos and loads of photos to download and use in your own filmmaking or your own apps and your own writing as well. Yeah. Shall we watch one of their video that they have made? That might be quite useful.
Yeah.
So I got this from their website. Again, you can download this to use, which is absolutely amazing. I think that they got so many different materials for free.
Think of a city.
You look at the Great Barrier Reef, it's really the Manhattan of the ocean. This hugely diverse and complex city.
The corals are the real basis of that ecosystem.
If coral reefs are lost, the little fish disappear, the big fish disappear, and then you can look at humans as one of the big fish. It is just like the trees in a forest.
Do we need forests? Do we need trees? Do we need reefs? Or can we just sort of live in the ashes of all of that?
It's the beginning of an ecological collapse.
Us losing the Great Barrier Reef has got to wake up the world.
Because it's not just something beautiful that's going, it's a whole ecosystem of animals that are potentially dying from this.
Yeah, because if the coral dies and then the things that kind of feed on and live in the coral, they die, and then the bigger fish die, and then, it's kind of a process that gets worse and worse as it goes on.
Yeah. And interesting to know that documentary is also on Netflix, so if you do want to find out more information about this, then go to that. I think that's about an hour and a half to watch, so if you want to do more research and then write off the back of this, that would work really well. So, Simon, what kind of ideas can we take from this to maybe stimulate our literacy brains, get that part of our brain going?
Well, I don't know really. I think could you want to pull up some of the photos on their website, and maybe that can sort of get us thinking about what we could write about. The oceanagency.org, and then they've got a little button up there called imagery. So if we click on that, and then we can find videos and photos. If you click view library there, then that we can use to sort of inspire our writing. So if we're seeing such beautiful images like this, it instantly makes me sort of imagine ways in which we could start writing about it. So whether it's a journey that we're taking through the coral reef, and you can start writing some description of all the different things that you could see, or whether it's a fiction in an adventure around the coral reef that's set around that setting. Wow, some really interesting things there.
Yeah, really. I was just seeing the diver swimming past, and you can imagine that being quite a precarious position that the diver's in. This thing of beauty that maybe draws them in, and they have to be very careful around. And same with that, isn't it? Coral's not dangerous at all, but you can imagine it to have, in your stories, imagine it to have a beautiful danger.
Yeah. Maybe we could do a little writing challenge, just between the two of us, and we look at a picture and come up with a sentence, and then everyone who's watching can come up with their own sentence as well. And then we can share our sentence.
Yeah, great.
And see what we came up with.
Great idea.
So should we pick a photo? Okay, are you ready for this?
No.
You will be in a second.
Ooh, wow.
How's
Wow. Oh, that is absolutely amazing. I think the more you look at it, actually, the more you see with that one. I saw its lips to begin with, and then I realised it was covered in these kind of fluorescent blue dots.
I just think the eyes are incredible, aren't they?
Yeah. And those two.
Right, write a sentence.
Anyway, yeah, all right.
Before we get lost in its eyes. Okay, I'm just going to write. Okay, everyone, we're going to give you just a minute to write a short sentence. Off you go. It's inspired by what you can see in the picture. Okay, I'm done.
I went for more of a description.
Did you? Okay.
Mine. Yeah. How about you?
Well, I decided to go for a first person.
Ooh. First fish.
Person, but from the fish's point of view, yeah.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Do you want to read yours out?
Yes, okay. So the brain-like crenellations keep the young and vulnerable peeking out wide-eyed in curiosity.
That's really nice.
Yeah, I decided to describe the coral surrounding. I like that idea of it, like keeping, like something secure, like around it. But almost the fish itself can't just stay within the coral. It has to peek out at the photographer almost, wide-eyed. Like you said, those eyes just really stick out at you, don't they? So.
It's interesting that you used the word peaked as well, because I used peaked.
Oh, did you?
It's obviously peeking out. So I wrote, I peeked out from the darkness over the rough rim of my coral home.
Ooh.
The current slowly flowed across me as I crept forward.
I can hear alliteration in there, young Simon.
That's right. Yes,
very good.
I must have went for another one as well, but I decided not to in the end. It was sort of getting too alliterative and sounded a bit much.
Well, you're verging into poetry there, aren't you? So it's interesting that you talk about it being more of a first-person story, but then that turns into, and that's how a lot of poetry works, isn't it? You write something that you want to, and then you slowly twist it and add extra poetic devices in until it becomes poetry. And lots of people write poetry in that way. Not everyone, but a lot do.
Right. Interesting. Yeah. So it's kind of, there's a crossover in there between, you can have kind of lyrical prose,
Mm-hmm.
kind of a poetic way of describing things, which you wouldn't find in some styles of books that are a bit more kind of relaxed and friendly, but some books are a bit more kind of use more flowing language and really put a lot of effort into the description, things like that. It's just different styles.
So what's your style?
Quite a good question. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm good at questions. Good at talking. So your task today is to write something based off some of the stimulus that you've seen. Pick some of the amazing resources on the Ocean Agency, and really write from that viewpoint. Do you want to write a poem? Do you want to write a story? Do you want to write?
Oh. Sorry, that was the alarm going off for the challenge.
Oh right, we haven't used that so far, so that confused me.
That's the challenge alarm.
It's the alarm challenge.
Oh, it's the challenge alarm, everyone.
What? We might not do it. Use it all the time, only when we remember.
When something becomes apparent that we want to use it for.
When something's alarming, like this challenge. So write down a piece of writing, some fiction, write down a story, a description. And if you want to, use the imagery that you find on the Ocean Agency. They've got videos, photos, to make your own videos as well. You can simply put it together in lots of the different apps that are available on your mummy's phone. Okay. Or your dog's phone.
Great time.
Thanks, everyone. That's all from us. We'll see you again tomorrow.
I wish all classrooms were like this.
I know, right?
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, keep it down.
Keep it down.
Keep it down, dogs. Oh, Classroom for Dogs. There we go. That would be a new Pixar film. Hotel for Dogs, Classroom for Dogs.
Classroom for Dogs. Oh,
okay. I'm trying to stop. I'm trying to stop, Simon.
Okay. I just
you
enjoyed
stop
it too much. Sorry, Tim. Oh, he's back. Okay. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye. See you tomorrow at 10:30, Lit Film Fest Classroom. Thanks a lot for joining us. We'll see you again. We've got an extra special one for our 4th lockdown day. So, yes, join us. We're here every day to do another Lit Film Fest Classroom. Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.